All right. First, I want to say I'm a Raiders fan, okay? Oakland Raiders. Not this Las Vegas stuff. Number one draft pick, baby. So basically, at that point, take anything I say from this moment on with a grain of salt. I'm a Raiders fan. So the title of this one is How I Decided to No Longer Self-Publish My Books. And it was brought up because in my previous video, which you need to read, is basically my writing goals for 2026. One of the goals was to not self-publish any more of my books going forward, except for the handful that are already going to be self-published this year. Watch that video. You'll know all the books that are being self-published in 2026. And the funny part is, I'm probably putting out more self-published books in 2026 than most authors are releasing anyway. But anything that I'm working on, and I will be working on in the future, it will not be self-published. There's a few reasons for this. Number one, I've been doing this for over 30 years. I had my first short story published in 1988 while I was a senior in high school. Yes, I am old. All right, I'll be 57 this year. Jesus, 57. Anyway, I've released over 200 books in my career of 30 plus years. And, the whole idea behind that is, oh, you have a huge backlist and you should, even if you sell a handful of books of each title every time, you should be a billionaire by now. Now, I've had some awful months in 2025. It was one of my worst years selling books, actually. A lot of different factors, okay? We're not going to get into politics or anything like that, but it was a bad year to be a person in general. There's a lot going on in the world that we could not control. One of the things I could not control was people just seemed to buying books. And it's not just me. I get that from other authors as well that are basically saying 2025 was like a dumpster fire as far as sales and stuff. My Amazon ads tanked. I lost a lot of money doing Amazon ads and other stuff. So I am looking for, and it's not like a week ago I was like, oh, you know what? Getting to be the end of the year, let me figure out what I want to do different. No, this has been coming for months, and I knew this was coming, and I was setting things up for 2026. And one of the things was not to do as many self-published books. And then with the idea, it was no longer do self-published books. So pretty much, as a quick idea, me and author Tom Duffy, we did 2 trilogies together that are released. The Johnny Bell Heist trilogy and the Rick and JoJo Adventure trilogy. Phenomenal 6 books. Well, we have 6 more books, 2 more trilogies that we've put out. I call them the Black Trilogy and then the White Trilogy, because the titles in the first trilogy one of the words is black, fade to black, back in black, painted black. The White Trilogy, which comes after that, White Room, White Lies, White Trash. Those books will all be done and be released in 2026 into 2027. So originally we were like, oh, we're going to do and this might be a little rehash, bear with me. We're going to do rapid release because that's what we did before. And rapid release just isn't working anymore right now. I'm sure it will come back around, but right now it is not. So January 2026, the first book will come out. April the 2nd, and then July the 3rd of the Black Trilogy. Then in October, the first white one, and then January 2027, then April 2027, those trilogies will be done. To be honest, me and Tom aren't going to probably write any more books together right now. That we might have it come up with an idea for maybe a standalone or something, but Tom is under the same opinion I am that just self-publishing just isn't making any money. the money you have to put behind it, the covers, the formatting, the editing, the time, all of it kills you. It's soul crushing. And you know what? If you're an author and you're just starting in this business, good luck to you. And I'm not saying that to be funny, because mileage may vary always. You might hit on something, especially if you're doing something that sells. So I'm doing crime thrillers, and it's really just not making the money that I want to make. Now I'm blessed; it's making money. I just don't see me ever getting to that next level, that next step. And for me, realistically, that next step is an agent. That next step is a big publisher. That next step is writing a book or two or three. I'm working on 3 different ones that will get me an agent and a contract and an advance and into bigger bookstores and into being able to go to bookstores and touring and all the other stuff to legitimize what I've been doing for 30 something years. And I think that to me is important. I think that to me is where I need to go. And again, I'm just not making the money I was making. The self-publishing thing, it's it's throwing crap against the wall and seeing what sticks. And I've been really focused on, I'm only going to write within brand. I'm only going to write, more commercial. I'm only going to blah, blah. And it just isn't working. I'm going to be totally honest with you. It's frustrating. I suffer from depression. I'm beating myself up over this. I'm crunching numbers that don't make any sense. And when I got to the end of the year and I looked at that final number on the bottom and I said, wow, this is my worst year in 5 or 6 years. And in 5 or 6 years, I've put out, 60 more releases or whatever it is. Working with small presses for the most part, the money is dwindling. It's just all of it. So no more self-publishing. The stuff I have out, I have a couple of books which I was like, I'm going to self-publish, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll look for a publisher for this book. Maybe I will sit on this book and see what happens. So that's kind of that's the play, I guess you could say. So thank you for author Frank J. Edler for bringing this up. I was doing a live Twitch writing session. He was like, I watched your video and, you hit on a thing, but you really didn't go in too far into it about the self-publishing thing. He feels the same way. Okay. I can say that because he said it in the comment section. So I know he also agrees with me that it's one of those, what's the point? What's the point in writing these books and spending the time and writing all these words and then putting it out there and it just doesn't sell? I have a couple of books that I love that I think should be selling, should be making me money. Stark Lake is a great cosmic horror book, I believe. Seal the Deal is a great supernatural book that I think is a great book. Neither of those books are making any money. Neither of those books, to be honest, has recouped the money from paying for covers and editors and formatting on either of those books. And those are just 2 of many books that I just did not make the money. I did not do audiobooks, any new audiobooks this year. I have 50 audiobooks out, and I'm barely making any money on them. And I'm just like, I gotta do something different. I don't ever want to go back into retail management. I don't ever want to go back into get a 9-to-5 job or anything like that. Especially since I haven't been in the workforce in 14 years. Especially since I'm in my late 50s now. Especially since I'm lazy. Especially since I'm unhealthy and fat. I'm sitting in this damn chair for all these years. So there's a lot of those factors. I will be building up the YouTube. I'm doing really good with it, I think. I just need more hours watched. So if you're watching this, I appreciate it. Watch it a couple more times. That would really help me out. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, self-publishing is just not going to be my thing going forward. So I think after you get those last couple of books in the White trilogy for me and Tom, I don't think you're going to see any more self-published books from me. And if I decide that, I think I have 2 or 3 books now that are just pretty much done, that I'm just kind of sitting on. I think at this point, I might just sit on them. I just might not release them. And that's it. I might just be like, you know what? it's not worth spending all the money on covers, on formatting, on editing, on all the other stuff, on the marketing, on the promotion, on all this other stuff for this to basically put out books that I'm going to make. I'm going to put out $1,000, and if I make $500 on the book, I'm supposed to feel happy about that. It's not making me happy. Again, I'm blessed. I have more sales than most authors out there, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying I've been in this a long time, and I have a lot of books in my backlist. So the goal would be to find an agent who finds a publisher who I sell those books, and then my backlist takes off. I'm always going to write short stories. I'm always going to write, novels, but I don't know what I'm necessarily going to do with some of them now, which is scary for me, to be honest with you. It is. So there you go. That's why I decided to no longer self-publish my books. And, unless something changes, unless like all of a sudden in 2026 there's a revival of and I start selling books like crazy, I don't think it's going to happen. So what are your feelings on it? If you're an author, what are your feelings on self-publishing? Do you still think it's working for you? Do you think it's not working for you? Are you a new author just coming up and you're like, oh, that's not good, I didn't want to hear that because I'm going to self-publish a book? Are you a reader? And you're like, you know what? I love independent books. Where can I find your book? I'll put my Amazon page link. I'll put a link to it. You know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of things that we are I'm worried about right now. So thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching all my videos. I appreciate it. Always looking for new questions, new comments, so I can do new videos in the future. My goal is always Sunday to put out a writing video, and then usually like a Wednesday to put out one of these writing videos or something about writing. And so there you go. So thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Please hit the subscribe button. Please watch more of these videos. I don't want to go back to retail management.